Hi, this is 12-volt Tom. I'm here to show you a show and tell on this, which is a Tobin Arp machine, and it's called a model TP-7600, and the nickname for this is the Tom Thumb Press. It's not written on here, but that's what they call it, the Tom Thumb Press. So this is used for multiple purposes. One purpose it has is to push pins out of press pin fit rod and piston setup. And you can use it with multiple apparatus. So this is just a piece that you can throw in here, but the piston would sit in here, then the rod would sit in here also, and you're able to press that out. So the way this machine works is unlike a Sun machine where the piston and cylinder are up here and they push down, this one, the piston is in the bottom and pushes up. So in this case, it's up a little bit right now. I can let it down. You can see it's going down. It's gravity feed going down. So you would put the piston in here and this would push through. You can adjust it here. You can also adjust it with these pins to get more height if you need to with a bigger rod piston combination. Hydraulic valve here, the control valve here. It's a pneumatic hydraulic device. It uses air and cylinders inside, so you control the airflow and you can see how it goes up. And I can make it go slow or make it go fast. And it can push 10 tons of force, so 20,000 pounds. And there it goes down again. So you'll have things that happen that it doesn't want to work right, and sometimes it don't want to run. You can push this pin to actuate that air cylinder inside to make it start running. And this one's a little too full on air. You can actually too full of oil. You can actually see it coming out right here. There's oil coming out of it. So I have too much oil in it. If you put too much oil in it, you're going to have air atomizing the oil and blowing it up around the machine. So you don't want to overfill it. They only get filled about right to here with oil. Okay, and they actually have a dipstick on them, like this. This is upside down. That's a dipstick, and it tells you how full to put it. So we're going to go to this machine and show you some of the inner workings of it. So here we have our piston cylinder. Here is the piston taken off. It's upside down. It uses steel rings, which you could probably buy replacements from the aftermarket as just for like a Hastings ring, into that 4-inch bore. And then here's our pneumatic control valve. Here's the lowering control valve. And then here's piston valve assembly. So here's the pistons and here's valve assemblies. There's a rod that goes between them. What you'll find on some of them that don't want to work right is that rod. There's a little pin right here. See this pin? It's a 1/16 inch pin, roll pin, spring pin, right there. And there's one on the opposite side. And what you'll find is that pin, at least on this machine, that pin was all egged out in the hole, and it developed about 1/8 inch of slack between the two valves, and the machine didn't want to run. So we replaced the pin. We also lengthened this rod just slightly. And now this thing works perfectly. I'll hook the air back up to it and you'll be able to hear it. You can run it without oil, just for testing purposes. So I'm going to hook the air up to this one. So now you can look in here and watch these control valves operate. You can see how I can vary the speed of it. And all I'm doing is supplying air. It comes in here. It goes between these two valves, and then it applies to the piston and brings oil up. It sucks it from the tank and comes right up in here. Slow speed, height. So these were 1/16 of an inch, and now I've enlarged them to 78 thousandths of an inch. So just a small drill bit, made the pin bigger, tightened it way up. So now we're going to go to another one and show you more of the internal workings of it. So this is a third one that we use in the shop, and we just wanted them all to work good. So here you'll see is that rod that goes back and forth with its little sleeve valve. It's like a hydraulic cylinder almost. So this valve goes here, although it's hard for me to get in the hole. There's one over here already in the hole. You can see this one. And then this rod goes between them. So that hole gets egged out. Another thing you'll see that happens is this is the valve that goes over here. Inside of it is one little piston. It's got one O-ring on it. And it's got another O-ring in the bottom of the hole. And its only purpose for that is like act kind of like a shock absorber. So this goes in there. This goes back on the end and hooks right onto the end of it right there. So then that rod is actually touching on this piston. And then you have the other one on the opposite side. So very simple setup that they made years and years ago, but they still work perfectly. No need to buy the new whiz-bang stuff. So we're going to put this one back together, new O-rings. It'll be good to go for another 60 years. And put it back into its tank, new oil, clean out the dirt, and away we go. That's the air control valve. And these are very simple. You can tear these apart and work on them in your shop and get parts that you need. Oil level, again, only goes about this deep. You can see here. So here's the air valve. That's the air hole that it blows out of. If you have the oil above that, it's going to just blow air and oil. So you need the oil level below that hole right there. And that is a small demonstration of what these are. Don't be scared of them.